Welcome to Fenway Park. It is Vermont Day. Miss Vermont is here, Sarah Westbrook, and many others from the Green Mountain State. As today, the Red Sox and the Kansas City Royals play a day-night doubleheader. Game 1 is coming up. Hi, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, as always, joined by Jerry Remy. Welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, yesterday was extremely emotional here at Fenway Park, and with it came a dramatic victory for the Red Sox and a big day for Daniel Nava.
Well, Don, probably the most emotional day I've ever spent in this ballpark, and what a game it was. And Daniel Nava coming up huge for the Red Sox at the end of that game with the 3-run home run. It was a very tight, well-played game, and, of course, Nava breaking it open for the Red Sox late in the game with that home run over the bullpen. And he's been off to a great start for Boston, I think. Nobody knew what to expect from Nava coming out of spring training, but he has really made his presence felt. You see the average at 342. The last 3 games, 4 for 9 with a home run, 7 RBIs, 14 RBIs on the season to go along with 4 home runs. And he has done everything that John Farrell could wish for. He's played the outfield. He's played first base. He's hit in the middle of the lineup. Today, Nava moved up to the 2nd spot here in Game 1, but he has been outstanding, driving in critical runs for the Boston Red Sox.
Well, the Red Sox are trying to keep this rolling today. Ryan Dempster's on the mound for Boston as the fans file into Fenway Park. Yawkey Way is busy. We're back with the first pitch right after this. The great state of Vermont. The Red Sox take the field on this Vermont day. We'll have great shots of Vermont all day long. And leading the way onto the field for the Red Sox is Ryan Dempster. As the Sox take the field, let's check out the Royals batting order. It's brought to you by Jordan's Furniture on this junior announcer day from Fenway. And Ryan has the visiting Royals starting lineup.
Thanks, Mr. Orsillo. Hi, I'm Ryan of Shelburne, Vermont. Leading off for the Royals, in left field, Alex Gordon. The shortstop, Alcides Escobar. The DH, Billy Butler. At first base, Eric Hosmer. The center fielder, Lorenzo Cain. At third base, Mike Moose-Talkez. The right fielder, Jeff Francourt. The catcher, Salvador Perez. And batting ninth at second base, Chris Getz.
Nice job, Ryan. As for the Red Sox, today's starting pitcher is brought to you by Verizon Fios, and Ryan Dempster is on the mound to make his 4th start in a Red Sox uniform. 0-1 with a 2.65 earned run average. Opponents hitting at just 167 against Dempster.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you on Nesson by Southwest Airlines. They are second in the American League with only 3 errors in 16 games. Will Middlebrooks will be at third base. Stephen Drew, the shortstop. Dustin Pedroia at second. And Mike Napoli, the first baseman. Left to right, Johnny Gomes, Jacoby Ellsbury, and Daniel Nava. And Jared Saltalamacchia doing the catching for Ryan Dempster.
Well, the umpiring crew today from Fenway Park. Larry Vanover has the balls and strikes in behind the plate. Lance Barrett at first base. Manny Gonzalez at second base. And Wally Bell, the crew chief, is at third base. Today's game is available in Spanish by pushing the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas tardes, amigos.
Now, blue skies above Fenway Park as we get started. Day baseball, the day portion of the day-night doubleheader from Fenway. And first pitch to Alex Gordon is in there for strike one, and we are underway. Now, Gordon, the final out of yesterday's game, a .338 average that he carries into today's tilt. No homers and 9 runs batted in. Kansas City with the loss here yesterday falls to 8-7. They're in a tie with the Detroit Tigers atop the American League Central. Ned Yost at the helm of the Royals. Gordon will lift one in the air to left center field. Coming is Ellsbury. Over is Gomes, and it's Johnny Gomes. Let's check in with Jenny Dell.
That's right, Don. Dempster hoping to keep the ball rolling here. Quality starts that leads to wins. Red Sox starters have allowed 3 runs or less in all games this season. That is a record so far. Dempster said you see the other guys in the rotation going out there, pitching well. You don't want to be the squeaky wheel here. You want to keep that streak going. It's a competitive push to keep the best going out of each other, and you get results from that.
All right, Jay, thanks very much. 1 out here in the first inning as Alcides Escobar bats and hits one high and deep to left. This is going to be a long home run that ends up in the back of the monster seats. Alcides Escobar gets his second home run of the year, and Kansas City jumps out to a 1-0 lead.
Now Escobar not wasting any time, jumping on that first fastball that he sees and takes it into the monster seats for the home run, as Don mentioned, number 2 on the season for Escobar. That fastball on the inner part of the plate, and Escobar pulling that ball to left field for the home run. Now remember, today a little chilly here at Fenway with that breeze blowing in, but it made no difference on that blast.
Now Billy Butler standing in and taking strike one. Here are the conditions today. 50 degrees to start the game. Breeze in from center at 8 miles per hour, and more clear skies above expected the rest of the day here. Not a cloud in the sky as we get it started today. Pitch to Butler will miss, 1-1. Butler, the DH, starting the year just to 209, but does have 2 homers and 11 runs batted in. 0 for 3 with a walk yesterday as he reaches out and carves that foul. That is only the second first inning home run allowed by the Red Sox this season. One-two pitch fouled off to the right. Outfield set up with Ellsbury a step or 2 towards right center on Butler's. Eric Hosmer waits on deck for Kansas City. Elevates a tad, misses for ball 2. Now, Jenny was talking about the level of competition within the starting rotation. Makes you think of the years of Pedro Martinez and Curt Schilling. Certainly the way that Lester and Buchholz have kind of set the table for the Red Sox in the front end of the rotation. Swing and a miss for Butler, and he strikes out. First K of the day for Ryan Dempster.
And first slider of the day for Dempster, too. Been all fastballs up to that point, and now he goes to the slider to pick up the strikeout against Butler. So Butler now is 0 for his last 10 as he reaches trying to make contact on that breaking ball.
2 down, bases empty for Eric Hosmer, the first baseman who bats out of the cleanup spot today for game 1 and takes a healthy hack there. .216 average, no homers, 4 runs batted in for Hosmer. Royals are 4th in the American League in batting average as a team. They hit at .267. Actually, 3 teams better than the Red Sox. Red Sox hitting at .257 as a team to begin the year. The Angels leading the AL as a club, hitting at .287. Despite the fact that they are 6-10 on the year.
Swing and a miss, 2-2. Well, Dempster losing at New York in his first outing. No decisions. Home against Baltimore, home against Tampa Bay. This one is fouled off to the left out of play. He's 2-0 in 3 career starts against Kansas City. Faced him last year in September while a member of the Texas Rangers. Got the win after allowing 2 runs over 6 innings in that effort. Two. Late swing and a grounder towards third. Middlebrooks will barehand and throw, but it'll be late. Throw on a bounce and not much of a chance to get Hosmer well placed down that third base line.
Yeah, plus Middlebrooks was off the bag quite a distance with the left-handed hitting, so he had to go to his right, and the only opportunity was the barehand, and even with that, really no chance of getting Hosmer at first base. Nice effort by Middlebrooks, but the throw not in time.
So 2 down, Hosmer at first base, and Lorenzo Cain, who had a very big day yesterday, stands in. Cain now hitting at .392 with a home run, 7 runs batted in. Had a 4-hit game yesterday. Pair of doubles and his first home run of the year. So 9 bases in yesterday's game.
He was certainly the offensive star yesterday for the Kansas City Royals. A thorn in the Red Sox side in that ball game.
3rd time in his career he's had 4 hits in a game. When it goes in the 0-1, the pitch misses. The throw down is not going to be in time. So a stolen base for Eric Hosmer into scoring position with 2 down.
Now Hosmer picks up his 2nd steal of the season. 2 outs, trying to get in scoring position. Kind of a strange route to second base, but he does get around the tag. That's a nice slide by Hosmer as he gets a foot around the sweep tag right there by Dustin Pedroia. Pedroia, of course, had to pick that ball out of the dirt.
On the ground to third base, Middlebrooks has got it. His throw is a little bit offline, but the tag applied by Napoli on the way by to end the inning. Well, the Royals pick up a run on the top of the first. Sox are coming up. As Kansas City has taken a 1-0 advantage as we head to the bottom of the first inning. Red Sox batting order is brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers, and Riley has today's Red Sox lineup.
Thanks, Mr. Ursula. Hi, I'm Riley of Shelburne, Vermont. Leading off for the Red Sox, the center fielder Jacoby Ellsbury, and right field Daniel Nava. The second baseman Dustin Pedroia. The DH David Ortiz. At first base Mike Napoli. The catcher Jared Saltalamacchia. At third base Will Middlebrooks. The shortstop Stephen Drew. And batting ninth the left fielder Johnny Gomes.
Nice job, Riley, as we head into the bottom of the first inning. Jacoby Ellsbury leading it off here for the Red Sox as he takes ball one. Ruben Santana on the mound today for the Kansas City Royals, a former Angel. His fourth appearance, 1-1 with a nifty 2.45 earned run average coming in. Swing fouled off to the left by Ellsbury.
Santana in his career 3-3 against Red Sox ball clubs. Last time out, a no decision against Toronto, but went 8 innings in that game, giving up 2 runs.
This is the 12th start of his career against Boston. And a pop-up foul ground. Hosmer into foul ground. The first baseman will take care of out number 1.
Let's take a look at the Kansas City defense. They've made 10 errors in 15 games, which ranks them 11th in the American League. Mike Moustakas at third base. Alcides Escobar the shortstop. Fritz Getz at second. Eric Hosmer at first. Left to right, Alex Gordon, Lorenzo Cain, and Jeff Francoeur. And Salvador Perez doing the catching for Santana.
One down here in the bottom of the first inning for yesterday's hero, Daniel Nava. His big 3-run home run in the 8th inning, giving the Red Sox the lead, and they would need every one of those runs as it worked out. Kansas City coming back in the top of the 9th inning. And Red Sox continue their win streak up to 7 games now, and one of 8 of the last 10 games. Great numbers for Nava. Now Clay Buchholz getting the victory yesterday. 8 strong innings from Buchholz. 2 runs, 8 hits, 6 strikeouts along the way. And Clay Buchholz off to a terrific start to begin the season, as is John Lester. Buchholz with the win yesterday betters his record to 4-0 on the season with a 0.90 earned run average, still under a run. This is into right center field and a base hit for Nava. Francoeur over to play it, but Nava's aboard with a 1-out single.
That's now a 4-game hitting streak for Nava, as he had previously been 0 for 6 in his career against Santana. Francoeur going over to cover that base hit out in right field, so Nava at first base with 1 out.
1 out, 1 on for Dustin Pedroia. Take a look at strike 1. Pedroia an even 300 coming in. No homers and 6 runs batted in. Fouled off by Pedroia, down 0-2. Dustin 0 for 2 yesterday, but he did get on base twice, walking twice in the game. Walking a lot. He leads the American League with 12 walks and sits safely in 11 of the first 16 games. Saw Big Papi waiting on deck, back for his 2nd straight game here with the Red Sox.
Some question whether Ortiz will play both ends of this day-night doubleheader today. It depends how he comes out of this first game.
This is lined into center field. A base hit for Dustin Pedroia. Nava takes second, and the Red Sox have something going here in the first inning.
Well, we've seen a lot of that from Pedroia early in this season, where he's had pitches away from him. And that was a good breaking ball away from Pedroia, but just reaches out and pops it into center field for the base hit. Has to slide it down and away. Almost a one-handed swing by Pedroia, right up the middle. Past the glove of Chris Getz at second base.
So first and second with one out, and David Ortiz. Now David with 2 hits in his return yesterday. 2 for 4 with a couple of singles and a run driven in. Chance to do some damage here in the first inning with the Red Sox trailing by a run. That'll miss outside, ball 1. Well, the Achilles injury that sidelined him the rest of last year and during the offseason right through spring training. Began the season on the DL. 6 rehab games with the Pawtucket Red Sox, going 4 for 18 in his stint with Pawtucket. And 2 for 4 yesterday with an RBI. Fouled off, 1-1.
And if you watched the ball game yesterday, you have to be very careful on the bases. Salvador Perez, their catcher, loves to attempt pickoffs.
He likes to throw to second base.
He'll throw any place.
He picked off Daniel Nava yesterday and almost picked off Johnny Gomes at second base, and Nava is certainly cognizant of that as he gets a short lead off second. Santana trying to slow things down. Mike Napoli waiting on deck for the Red Sox. Ortiz patiently waiting a pitch. Oh, bounce in for ball 2.
From Santana, the Red Sox will see the fastball, the slide, of the changeup.
Santana spending his entire career with the Angels prior to this season. Broke into the big leagues in 05 and had a 17-win season with the Angels in 2010. Ortiz thought about it. It's a strike call over the outside corner.
And we mentioned Salvador Perez, and yesterday at second base, Daniel Nava gets picked off at second base on a brilliant throw. It was a bunt situation. Nava trying to get as much lead as he possibly could. Perez seeing that and picked him off second.
In the dirt, full count. Perez quickly up and blocking that. No advance for Nava at second or Pedroia at first. Perez blocking a lot of pitches in yesterday's game. He was all over the place, throwing all over the place, and it was fun to watch. The Kansas City Royals young catcher. Three-two to Big Papi. Swinging a foul ball. Red Sox trying to answer a first inning run by Kansas City. Nava at second base, Pedroia at first base, 1 out. Ortiz into right center field, a base hit. From second comes Nava. Pedroia will go to third. It's an RBI single for David Ortiz, and the game is tied at 1.
Well, a steady diet of sliders and that at bat to David Ortiz, and he finally gets one down about knee high, and he rifles it into center field for the base hit. That slider more of just kind of spinning up the home plate, and there's the contact by Ortiz. Red Sox very quickly come back to tie the score.
So first and third now with 1 down, a run in, and Mike Napoli the batter. Napoli sliding down to the 5th spot in the Red Sox order. He'd been hitting cleanup until the return of David Ortiz, and Napoli at 254, 2 homers and 17 runs batted in. Napoli yesterday was 0 for 2. Joy at third base. Ortiz crossed the diamond at first base. Fouled straight back, 1-1. Let's check in with Jenny.
Yes, Don, AT&T brings us today's Twitter question. David Ortiz has finally returned to the Red Sox lineup. How important do you feel he will be to team production and team chemistry for the 2013 season? Send us your tweets using the hashtag #PoppyReturns, and we'll reveal the best ones later in the game.
RJ, thank you very much. Hashtag #PoppyReturns. Swing and a miss. Napoli late on that. A 93-mile-an-hour fastball from Santana.
Of course, Napoli and Santana are, I think, at one time teammates with the Angels.
2010. A 1-2. That'll miss, and it's 2-2. Napoli 0 for 2 yesterday. He snapped a season-high 7-game hitting streak. Runners up the corners with one down. Santana. This one fouled off to the right, out of play. Mike Napoli, part of our key matchup, brought to you by Honda. 6 for 15. A couple doubles, 3 home runs off his old teammate, Irvin Santana. Mentioned that the hitting streak came to an end yesterday for Napoli. Also had a 5-game extra base hit hitting streak come to an end yesterday. He's on fire in Chicago and trying to get it going again. 2-2. He's on the ground right side into diving at second as Getz gets up and throws out Napoli. What a play. Run scores in the back door as Pedroia comes in from third, and the Red Sox take a 2-1 lead.
Well, a very fine play at second base by Chris Getz. It looks like it was going to get by him, but he goes into the dive and is able to get the out at first base. But the go-ahead run does come across the plate for the Red Sox. But a nice effort by the Royals second baseman to take a base hit away from Napoli.
I first looked up, I thought he had no chance of getting over there.
You're exactly right, Don. He covered a lot of ground and then into the dive to make the play.
So an out there, but a run scored. Napoli picks up his 18th RBI. And Jared Saltalamacchia now bats. Shift on here for Kansas City on the right side. City's Escobar, the shortstop, moving over to the right side of the infield, and Chris Getz ducks back to short right. Saltalamacchia 225 with 3 homers and 5 runs batted in. Saltalamacchia pinch hit yesterday, was 0 for 1 and is 1 for his last 10, but does have 2 home runs in the last week for Saltalamacchia. Swing and a miss.
Slider this time from Santana to pick up the swing and miss as Saltalamacchia on top of the breaking ball.
Line to right. Francoeur is there almost in his tracks to make the catch. It ends the inning, but a 2-run inning for the Red Sox. They answer well. The bottom of the first, on top now by a run. Second inning. The cold hard facts are brought to you today by Coors Light. Sox starters have allowed 3 runs or less in all 16 games, tying the major league record to start a season set by the 1978 and 81 Athletics. Clay Buchholz, the first Sox pitcher to win his first 4 starts since Josh Beckett in 2008. Beckett won his first 7. And Justin Pedroia has reached base now in all 17 games this season as it ties Pete Runnels, who set the Sox record for second baseman in 1959. And certainly we are proud of all the men and women law enforcement and in Watertown as the pitch will miss for ball 1 to Will Middlebrooks. It's not Will Middlebrooks. Mike Moustakas. Couldn't recover that one, Jerry. Moustakas is also a third baseman, Jerry.
Excellent cover.
Yes.
Excellent recovery there, Don.
Jeff Francoeur and Salvador Perez. There was a lot to read in that last from Mike. I kind of lost.
I can understand the problem. Do you want me to flip your card after an inning?
That'd be great. If you could just go ahead and flip it over, it'd be great.
Some announcers have people to do that for.
I know. Some of the most famous. Is the pitch. Strike over the outside corner. Moustakas, Francoeur, and Perez here in the second inning. On the ground right side of the backhand goes Napoli in a foot race that he will win to the bag for the first out of the inning.
Napoli continues to play an excellent first base, down low in that crouch, almost like a catcher, like he was. That's a good fielding position, makes the play on the backhand and the race to the bag, and he wins it.
So one down here in the second inning for Jeff Francoeur. 278 with a home run, 5 runs batted in. Glancing off of Saltalamacchia. Francoeur yesterday 2 hits. Also stole a base in yesterday's action. That is just off the outside edge. Dempster wanted that one. Instead, he falls behind 2-0. Dempster giving up 2 hits in the first inning. The long one, a home run by Alcides Escobar. In Kansas City, 1-0 advantage. Red Sox come back with 2 in their half of the first. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2 as Dempster battles back.
Yeah, one's falling behind, 2 balls and no strikes, nothing but sliders to Francoeur. And this is a very good one away from him and ends up off the outside edge.
Protecting the plate, Francoeur just reached out and pokes that foul off to the right.
Another good breaking ball from Dempster. That time going out even a little bit farther to try to get the swing and miss. He gets the swing, but a little contact here by Francoeur. Good job staying alive.
Swing and a miss gets him in the end. Second strikeout for Dempster, 2 down.
Back to the slider for Dempster to pick up the strikeout against Francoeur. Once he fell behind 2-0, nothing but breaking balls. The pitch zone on NESN is brought to you by Amica. Amica Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance.
2 down here in the second inning. Salvador Perez takes strike 1. Center fielder Ellsbury, step or 2 towards right center. Good sized gap out there in left center field. Perez with a swing and a miss. Dempster with back-to-back Ks in a 1-2-3 inning. When we come back, Jenny Dell will meet with a special NESN fan story fan.
One, and I'm here with Ryan Polly from Vermont. Ryan, you ran in that race on Monday, affected not physically but emotionally, and you started your own charity, Get Running for Boston. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I ran, as you said, on Monday, and I almost finished. I was 3/4 of a mile to the finish when the race was called off, and it was just so challenging emotionally to not reach my family and to see all of the chaos of the event. So the next morning, after getting home back into Vermont, I was feeling really helpless and kind of guilty that I was okay, but other people weren't. And I thought, what can I do to make this better? What can I do to help? And so I went on my Facebook page and I said, I'm going to be running on Saturday. Anyone want to come run with me? Come on and run with me. And I had a couple of people interested, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to raise some money as I do this. And so I called Massachusetts General Hospital. I said, what can we do to help the victims? And they said, we have an emergency fund. Set up the fund, started promoting, and then the One Fund came out, so we started cross-promoting both the One Fund and Mass General. And yesterday was our event, and we had about 650 Vermonters show up and raised over $10,000.
That's absolutely incredible. And you've, I'm sure, watched some of the events that took place here at Fenway Park, an emotional day. You were able to throw out the first pitch today and represent Vermont. What does that mean to you to be able to do something like that and see the support of everyone here in Boston? Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I was in tears and just overwhelmed that I'm able to, represent the community that came together yesterday. I couldn't have done it alone. I had so many people step out and donate supplies and just come out and give anything from a couple $100 to $2 and wear our bibs and support of the runners everywhere and of Boston. Well, thank you so much for all that you've done. And Jerry Remy bought you some hot dogs. Thank you for being our fan of the game, and we appreciate everything that you're doing. Thank you so much.
All right, well, today is Vermont Day. Great to hear from that Vermonter, and great effort from him as saw a base hit by Will Middlebrooks, who's starting to get back on track again. Better swings, and he's got himself a single to begin things here in the second inning.
Yeah, had a nice base hit yesterday to the opposite field, this time pulling the ball right down the third baseline. It bounced off the wall and had to stop at first base with the single.
Stephen Drew hitting at 115 coming into today's action. No homers and a run batted in. Made the final play defensively yesterday as Kansas City tried to tie things up in the ninth inning. The 1-1 is fouled off, and it is 1-2. And a bounce in is Perez to his right to corral it. To advance at first for Middlebrooks. Santana had to throw 27 first inning pitches. In the air down the left field line. See if it comes back. The wind will bring it back. It does not. Back into the seats. Swinging a foul tip into the catcher's mitt for strike 3. And Stephen Drew, the first strikeout victim of the day for Irvin Santana. Now Johnny Gomes coming to the plate here for the Red Sox with a special bat in hand. And to remember the victims of the marathon and some of the things that took place afterwards as well. We'll be auctioning those bats off apparently in the near future. We'll learn more about that, I'm sure, later. Gomes standing in, hitting at 200 with no home runs and no runs batted in so far. He bats out of number 9 spot today. Left field is he gets the start out there today. Now that the DH spot is being taken by David Ortiz, at least in game 1 anyway.
And Shane Victorino out of the lineup today with the back issues that occurred yesterday during the ball game, and of course it was Gomes that pinch hit for him and hit that ball off the wall for the double. Victorino listed right now as day-to-day.
Outside, 1-1 now to Gomes. That'll bounce in, and again Perez able to knock it down. Red Sox and Royals scheduled to play 7 games this season. 3 here at Fenway Park, played 2 today. We welcome Jack Edwards and Andy Brickley. And guys, what's the update from over there or down there? Well, here the Red Sox got down 1-0, but they come back with 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning. And on top right now, 2-1 from Fenway Park. I know emotions have been running high here yesterday and also at the Garden. All right, Jack and Brick, thanks very much. Well, base hit here for Jacoby Ellsbury. With 2 outs in the inning. Red Sox have runners at first and second.
Jacoby now with a 10-game hitting streak as he shoots that ground ball by Escobar, the shortstop. The Red Sox with a man in scoring position with 2 outs in the inning.
2 on, 2 down, and Daniel Nava now the batter. He singled to center field in the first inning. Framed by Perez, but too far inside. The Red Sox and Royals scheduled to play 7 games this season. As I mentioned, 3 here at Fenway and then 4 in Kansas City. Red Sox will be headed out to Kansas City in August.
Might be nice and toasty out there in August.
Should be. 1-1 is a called strike over the inside corner. Red Sox have not lost a home series against Kansas City since 2008. Dustin Pedroia waiting on deck with 2 down in the inning. Nava on a check swing, able to hold off, and the count evens at 2-2. Too far inside. Full count. And Santana has had to work hard in this outing so far. Nothing has come easy for him. He's so far given up the 2 runs in the first inning. Runners at first and second here trying to work his way around that. But in the meantime, pitch count rising for him quickly early in this game.
The last couple of pitches have not missed by too much either.
And his 47th pitch of the day, time called. Middlebrooks at second base. He led off with a single to begin the inning. Jacoby Ellsbury has got a base hit into center field. 2 down in the inning. And a swing and a miss as Nava strikes out. Santana gets out of the inning unscathed. We're through 2. Red Sox on top by 1. Top half of the third inning with the Red Sox on top 2-1, and the first pitch ball to Chris Getz, second baseman for Kansas City, batting out of the number 9 spot in the Royals order. Ryan Dempster fresh off a 1-2-3 second inning. Popped up, shallow left. Drew going out. Gomes coming in. Johnny Gomes battles the sun, but makes the catch for the first out of the third inning. Well, Vermont Day here at Fenway Park. And here's some facts. 626,011 state population. The capital is Montpelier, of course, the Green Mountain State. Dairy, farming, maple syrup, tourism, and forest products. The largest producer of maple syrup.
We went to Vermont, didn't we, on our tour through New England?
Yes, we did.
Was Montpelier, too, wasn't it?
Yes, we were there.
Yes, with the capital.
I went to Smuggler's Notch last year, the All-Star break. My favorite stops. Alex Gordon flied out to left field in the first inning. Yes, I believe we were at the State House, were we not?
Yes, we were.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is inside to Alex Gordon, who flied out to left field in the first inning.
A couple of pitches Dempster has not been very happy about so far from Vanover, the home plate umpire. A couple of long looks in.
There's a strike, 3-1. Ryan Dempster, a native of British Columbia, ranked second all-time among Canadian major leaguers in wins with 124. The Hall of Famer Fergie Jenkins with more, has a pitch and a swing and a miss, makes it a full count.
That split-fingered fastball on that 3-1 count right there to Gordon, had an off-balance swing.
His 40th pitch. He is going to miss for ball 4. And the first walk allowed by Ryan Dempster today. One of the points of pride of the Red Sox Foundation is their Red Sox Scholars Program, presented by Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center. We thank such sponsors as H.B. Hood, and we congratulate these inspiring young people. One out with Alex Gordon at first base, and Alcides Escobar coming up. Escobar with the home run in the first inning put Kansas City on top 1-0. His second home run of the year. Runner takes off at first, and this is sent foul down the right field line. A hit and run here for Kansas City. To the backhand goes Saltalamacchia as that misses. And evens at 1-1. Now Ryan Dempster allowed just 2 hits and struck out 10 in 7 innings. Not part of the decision, though, last time out. Red Sox would win 3-2 against Tampa Bay. It's the 15th time in his career that he struck out 10 or more batters.
Well, it's 2-1 back in a possible hit and run count. They tried it earlier in this at bat with the with no count, 0-0, and now with a 2-1 count, they may try it again.
Gordon not taken off this time, and Escobar fouls it back. Now look at the standings today, and the Red Sox have a 2-game lead over the Yankees, who have been able to do what the Red Sox have done, winning 8 of their last 10 games. With all the injuries the Yankees have, they're getting it done somehow. They are 10-6 coming into today's action.
I believe Kevin Youkilis had to come out of the ball game yesterday with a bad back.
They trail 2-1 today to Toronto so far. They're in the 4th inning at the Rogers Center. Escobar fighting this off, foul to the right, out of play.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow. Diving back at first is Gordon.
Would you make that same effort, Don, if
no.
a foul ball went out there like that?
I don't think so.
Not
no.
for baseball.
No. Maybe for a hot dog.
Yeah. You go down 5 flights of stairs for a hot dog.
On the ground is short, could be 2. Drew to second for 1, on to first, it is 2. They go 6-4-3 to end the inning. We're through 2.5. Red Sox on top by 1. Red Sox playing today as we head to the last half of the 3rd inning at Fenway with the Red Sox on top 2-1. It'll be Pedroia, Ortiz, and Napoli to bat in the 3rd. Ruben Santana moving dangerously, gave up 2 runs in the first, was able to get out of a first and second jam in the 2nd inning. Pedroia with a single in the 1st inning came around to score the Red Sox 2nd run. And 50 pitches already for Santana, facing his first hitter of the third inning as Pedroia grounds it foul. Trails in the count 1-2. David Ortiz, then Mike Napoli expected here in the third inning. To left, Gordon is there, and he makes the catch on a sinking liner. Almost misjudged it for the first out of the inning. Well, the emotional speech of David Ortiz yesterday here at Fenway.
This jersey that we wear today, it doesn't say Red Sox. It says Boston. This is our city. And nobody gonna dictate our freedom. Stay strong. Thank you.
And certainly right from the heart from David Ortiz. And David today singled in the first inning, able to drive in a run. His third hit since coming off the DL. Well, the quote of the day is brought to you by Geico, and it comes from the FCC chairman tweeting a response to Big Papi's emotional statement and deciding no punishment was warranted. David Ortiz spoke from the heart of today's Red Sox game. I stand with Big Papi and the people of Boston. So no fine coming David Ortiz's way. This on the ground, and lunging at first is Hosmer, covering is Santana, and Ortiz retired for the second out of the third inning.
Hosmer, a very good player down at first base. Defensively, offensively, here makes a nice diving play. Helps being left-handed there as he dives into the hole. And Santana doing his job by covering first base. A Gold Glove finalist last year in the American League. Good young player.
2 down in the third inning for Mike Napoli. Grounded out to second base, but produced a run. Picked up his 18th RBI of the year. It's part of the 2-run first inning for the Red Sox. And start the day with that RBI for Napoli that ties him with Miguel Cabrera for third in the American League and runs batted in. Chris Davis setting the pace in the AL. The Orioles first baseman has 21, and Prince Fielder has 19.
Now, Chris Davis has quieted down a little bit since we saw him.
After what, 17 and 4 games?
He was on that pace you were talking about.
Yes, he was on pace for about 300 RBIs. Napoli will pop it up, and this will get back into the seats. Outside for ball 1, 1-2. Santana able to get Pedroia to line out to left field. David Ortiz grounds out to first base. Santana's retired 5 of the last 6 batters. And a swing and a miss, able to strike out Napoli, picks up his third K, and the Red Sox down in order in the third inning. It's off to the fourth, 2-1 Boston. hard by. Eastern Bank, you put your family first, your job first, even your team first. Isn't it time someone put you first? Eastern Bank does just that with products like Eastern Free Checking. Here, you're first. Eastern Bank. Well, Vermont Day here at Fenway Park. The governor of Vermont is here as well.
We met the governor when we, no, we did not. We met the lieutenant governor,
Yes.
I believe, when we went up to Vermont.
This is laced to left by Butler and off the scoreboard to Gomes. Butler will be held to a long single, a liner off the scoreboard in left field.
Well, any of the ballpark in the big leagues, that's probably at least a 2-base hit, but not here at Fenway. The line drive off the scoreboard, fielded by Gomes, gets it in quickly, and Billy Butler has to hold it at first base. Butler came into that at bat 0 for his last 10, but that'll change.
So first time today that Kansas City has a lead runner on. There's Eric Hosmer, the first baseman. He singled in the first inning and stole a base. Hosmer, a Kansas City first-round pick, third in 2008. That is in there for a strike. And it's a ball and a strike now to Hosmer. His first year he broke on the scene with 19 homers, 78 runs batted in, and a .293 average. Last year in his second season in the majors hit just .232. He did have 14 homers and 60 runs batted in. 50th pitch for Dempster. And it's fouled back, 1-2. See the drop from his first season to his second. To left field, and that's going to drop in for a base hit in front of Johnny Gomes. So the first two Royals have reached here in the fourth inning, both singles to left. As mentioned earlier, today is Vermont Day. Granted statehood March 4th of 1791, becoming the 14th state. The hermit thrush, now that I did not know, is the state bird.
I did not know that either.
How about the state flower?
Didn't know that.
State tree, the sugar maple.
I did know that. A hermit thrush. I wonder.
Yes.
When it's a very quiet, like hidden, like doesn't
hermit?
go out in public very much.
Could be your favorite bird.
Yes. Yes.
2 on, nobody out. Lorenzo Cain coming up. Back-to-back singles off Dempster to begin the fourth inning. Line to fair ball down the left field line to the corner. Billy Butler is being waved around as Gomes goes to run it down. Hosmer will be stopped at third. It is a double for Lorenzo Cain, who continues on his torrid pace. And Kansas City ties the score at 2 aside. 3 straight hits to begin this fourth inning off Ryan Dempster.
Well, he actually jammed Cain in that first at bat inside. He tries to go back inside, but this time Cain is ready for it as he rifles it by Will Middlebrooks at third base. Some kind of series that Cain is having here against the Red Sox, but they jammed him the first time up and hoped to do the same in the second at bat, but that time he was ready for it.
4th extra base hit of the series for Lorenzo Cain. And second and third, still nobody out. And Mike Moustakas, the batter for Kansas City. He grounded out to first base in the second inning. Swing and a miss at him off balance there. 1-1.
This situation, obviously, would love to get a base hit, would Moustakas, but the fact is you still try to pull the ball. You get nobody out. Infield's back. The run would score, and you get that man to third base if you made an out on the ground.
Too far inside, and it's 2-1. Dempster gives up a single to Billy Butler off the wall and left to begin the inning. Hosmer singles to left, then the RBI double for Lorenzo Cain. And it's second and third to run in with nobody out. You see Jeff Francoeur waiting on deck. Protecting the plate, fouling it off as Moustakas. Remains 2-2. Roll for 4 yesterday, and so far 2 for 12 on the trip. Trip starting in Atlanta for Kansas City. Swing and a miss, and Dempster needed that. Something that did not include contact, and he picks up his 4th K of the day.
Excellent split-fingered fastball, just what he needed with the infield back. Second and third, he goes down and away. You can see the motion on that splitter going away from Moustakas. Amica Insurance is the proud sponsor of the Amica Pit Zone.
So second and third, 1 out. Jeff Francoeur, the batter, who struck out swinging in the second inning. Outside for ball 1. Franco, born in Atlanta, Georgia, resides in Duluth, Georgia during the offseason. Signed with Kansas City as a major league free agent. Time in Atlanta and New York with the Mets. Went to Texas for 15 games in 2010, and now with Kansas City each of the last 2 years. 60th pitch for Dempster coming up. And that's outside. 2-0.
And he came up with a lot of fanfare in Atlanta because he was from the area. And has always been a very good outfielder, very strong throwing arm.
.117 outfield assists, the most in Major League Baseball since the beginning of 2005. And second, Alfonso Soriano, but to 33 outfield assists between the two. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-1. Hosmer at third, Cain at second with 1 out in the inning. And a fly ball down the right field line that will be foul. Francoeur strikes out. Dempster with back-to-back strikeouts when he needed them most. Moustakas and now Francoeur.
Off-speed pitches for both of the strikeouts, too. A splitter to Moustakas and a slider right there to Francoeur. The same pitch he struck him out on back in the second inning. So 1 out away from getting out of a big jam here in the fourth inning.
2 down for Salvador Perez, who struck out swinging in the second inning. Hosmer at third base, Kane at second with 2 down. On the outside corner for strike 1. And Ryan Dempster starting the day game, and tonight the major league debut of Alan Webster in the second game. Look forward to that tonight. Too far outside. It evens at 1-1. Lined, and that's into left center field, just out of the reach of Stephen Drew. It'll score Hosmer. Here comes Kane. It is a 2-run single for Salvador Perez, and Kansas City now on top 4-2. Big 2-out 2-run single for Salvador Perez.
And on a pretty good pitch too by Dempster. It's a breaking ball away from Perez, and he shoots it right back up the middle, reaching across the plate to make contact and driving in those 2 runs. So Dempster almost gets out of the inning with the 2 strikeouts, but then gives up the base hit on a pretty good slider that was away from him.
Well, this marks the first time that a Red Sox starter has given up more than 3 runs in an outing, and it is Ryan Dempster's touch for 3 runs here in the 4th inning so far. No 2 outs. Perez at first base, and here's Chris Getz. His second look today at Ryan Dempster. He takes strike 1. He flied out to left field in the 3rd inning.
One thing Getz will do, he'll bunt at any time. You always have the infield in, especially at third base in Middlebrooks.
And there for strike 2 quickly to Getz. So on the DL 3 different times last year. Held to just 64 games last year for Kansas City. Little pop up. Middlebrooks heading into foul ground to make the catch that will end the inning, but the damage done. Kansas City scores 3 times, and they take a 4-2 lead. always put others first? Wouldn't it be nice if your bank did the same thing with products that make life easier and a commitment to helping those in need? Here, your First Eastern Bank. Well, some more Vermont fun facts for you. First state admitted to the Union after the ratification of the Constitution. Up here, the smallest state capital in the United States. Up here, the largest producer of maple syrup in the U.S. On this Vermont day from Fenway. Jared Saltalamacchia leading it off. And takes a pitch outside, 2-0. Lined out to the right fielder, Jeff Francoeur, in the first inning. Saltalamacchia deep to center field. Kane going back, and Kane will make the catch in front of the 379 marker.
Well, there's a case right there where that breeze blowing in this afternoon, and it's kind of calmed down a little bit since the start of the game, but no question it knocked down this ball. This was hit very well by Saltalamacchia out to that 379 marker. Looked like it had a chance to get some wall, but instead it finds glove of Lorenzo Kane.
One out here in the fourth inning for Will Middlebrooks. He singled to left field in the second inning. I like that. No wall, glove. I may take that.
Let me know what you're going to get, Don.
Check swing on a ball in the dirt. Doesn't offer and is ahead 2-1. So one of 5 Red Sox hits on the day. Red Sox now trailing by 2 runs as they come to bat here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Stephen Drew waiting on deck. Swing and a miss as Middlebrooks strikes out. Tried to hold up his swing, could not. Becomes the 4th strikeout victim for Irvin Santana. Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox, never forgets that before you're a patient, you're a person. Beth Israel Deaconess, human first. Learn more at bidmc.org/human first.
Well, Santana, who go off to a shaky start back in the first inning, has really settled into this game nicely.
2 down in the inning, and now 6 in a row retired by Santana. Stephen Drew, a strikeout victim in the second inning. Time called as Santana went into his wind. In the air to center field off the bat of Drew. Back goes Lorenzo Kane, still going, and that is going to be caught. Lorenzo Kane back in straightaway center field to reel that in. Drew gives it a ride, but he's out number 3 of the inning. Scored 3 times in the top half of the 4th inning. Red Sox had a 2-1 lead, but now trailed by 2 runs as Ryan Dempster returns to the mound. It'll be the top of the Kansas City order to bat in the inning. Gordon, Escobar, and Butler. Alex Gordon leading it off. Flat out to left in the first, walked in the third. There's strike 1 over the outside corner. Well, Gordon started the year by hitting safely in the first 12 games of the season before taking an 0-for in the final game of the series against Atlanta. Sprays this one foul. Happy youngster here at Fenway. No 2 is in there for strike 3. Gordon knew it and takes with him the 6th strikeout of the day for Ryan Dempster.
Dempster picking apart that outside corner that time with the fastball to pick up the strikeout. Well framed there by Saltalamacchia. First out of the 5th.
Well, right now Ace Ticket has special savings on all Red Sox games. Visit Ace Ticket for great seats at the lowest prices. Ace Ticket also has your seats for all this summer's hottest concerts. Visit Ace Ticket or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. 1 out in the 5th inning. Now CD's Escobar has homered and bounced into a 6-4-3 double play. Home run was his 2nd of the year. That's a pitch that Dempster was not getting early in this outing. He is getting now in that outside corner.
Yeah, strike zone expanding a little bit here in the middle part of the ball game.
Cued off the end of the bat, a fair ball picked up by Napoli. He'll take it to the bag for the 2nd out of the inning. So 2 down for Billy Butler. It was 1 for 2. He struck out swinging in the first and then lined one off the scoreboard in left field for a single. That started the 3-run attack by Kansas City in the 4th inning. Dempster falling behind 2-0. Wally has some friends here from Vermont today. In the air to shallow left. Wind's knocking it down. Gomes coming in. Drew going back. It's Johnny Gomes who makes what works out to be a running catch to end the inning. We're halfway through this one. 4-2 Kansas City. He has a 4-2 lead. And it'll be Johnny Gomes, Jacoby Ellsbury, and Daniel Nava to bat here in the 5th. Gomes had popped out to shortstop in the 2nd inning in his first at bat against Irvin Santana, who was about to deal his 70th pitch of the game. And that is high and tight at 92 miles an hour. Seven in a row now retired by Santana. On the ground left side, Escobar gets a high hop to his left. Throws out Gomes for the first out of the 5th. More on Johnny Gomes from Jenny Dell.
Well, Don, we're trying to get fans at home to get to know these Red Sox players a little bit better. So a little bit about Johnny Gomes. His favorite movie is Zero Dark 30. His charity that he works with is Troops Direct. They get active servicemen any goods they need in the field. And he said if he wasn't a baseball player, he would be in the service. To learn more about Johnny as well as all the Red Sox, go to NESN.com/team.
The most memorable career moment to date, first major league call-up, September 12, 2003, and that was with the Tampa Bay Rays, his favorite road city, San Francisco. And of course, he was from that area, growing up in Petaluma, California. He likes to go to Hawaii, Jerry, during the offseason.
That's a short flight from from San Francisco, right?
Yes. Not a baseball player, he would be in the service. Certainly very passionate about the military. The 1 pitch is down low. Third at bat of the day for Jacoby Ellsbury. He's fouled out and singled, 1 for 2. Ellsbury now, Nava next. Red Sox batting here in the home half of the 5th. Ellsbury lifts it in the air to right field as Frank Core in and over to take care of the 2nd out of the 5th inning. Well, Santana really has settled in.
Yeah, it looked like it might be a short afternoon for Santana back in the 1st inning, but a couple of hits in the 2nd. Since then, he has shut down the Red Sox offensively.
He's retired 12 of the last 13, and now 9 in a row. He has 2 outs here in the 5th. Daniel Nava singled in the 1st inning, struck out swinging in the 2nd. There's strike 1. Leave the line for Irvin Santana, working with 2 outs in the 5th inning. Tap foul, 0-2.
And basically, to this point, has been just fastball, slider from Santana.
Fastball for the most part around 92 miles an hour for Santana. No 2 pitch. And that'll just miss. That time at 93. On the ground right side, Hosmer to his right. Santana goes to cover, and he's there in plenty of time to get Nava and to end the 5th inning. Red Sox trailing by 2 runs at the end of 5. The top of the 6th inning. Want to remind you to stay with NESN after the game for WB Mason's Extra Innings Live. Tom Carroll anchored NESN's breakdown of game highlights, interviews, and John Farrell's post-game press conference. WB Mason Extra Innings Live. You can't go wrong when you buy right. WB Mason. 6th inning, and Ryan Dempster. Eric Hosmer will swing at the first pitch and foul it off to the left out of play. Nice ticket brings you the pitching line for Ryan Dempster. 5+6 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them coming in the 4th inning. Up to throw his 80th pitch of the day. Hosmer is 2 for 2 today. Singled in the first, singled in the 4th, and has a stolen base, a scored run today. A very good defensive first baseman for Kansas City. In the air to left center. On the move is Gomes, and he'll get back there to make the catch shy of the track for the first out of the 6th inning. It's now 5 in a row retired by Dempster.
Take a look at the strikeout against Gordon last inning. A fastball on the outside part of the plate for a strike. A fastball that jams him. And then back to the corner for strike 3. 3 pitches and Gordon's out. The whiff is presented by Head and Shoulders, who challenged men to take a whiff at what a double dose of confidence smells like.
Well, you're a man with a lot of confidence.
Huh?
You're a man with a lot of confidence.
Just to read that, yes.
1 out in the 6th. As Lorenzo Cain takes a pitch for a strike over the outside corner. Cain has had quite a series and has made some very good defensive plays along with all the offense that we've seen from him. Went and got a couple of balls in center field in the 4th inning. A good running catch on Stephen Drew's fly out to the warning track out in center. Cain lays off, and it's 3-1.
I don't think Dempster particularly pleased about that last call. He thought he had it up in the strike zone. Not going his way.
Ball 4, and he loses Cain, who heads down to first base with the second walk given up by Dempster. Well, Jenny, the pitching has been outstanding so far for the Red Sox this season.
That's right, it certainly has been. We have an update on some of the pitchers that haven't been here. John Lackey supposed to make his first rehab stop tomorrow in AA Portland. Expected to go about 4 innings, roughly 65 pitches. After that, we have Craig Breslow. He's going to be doing an inning of pitching on that's Tuesday, and on Wednesday, Franklin Morales is expected to go 4 innings as well in Portland.
Some interesting decisions coming up for the Red Sox in that regard as people start to get healthy. It's certainly be good to have John Lackey back again, and great news that that was not a serious situation when he left the game in Toronto. Toward the first, and back to the bag is Cain.
Cain with a couple of steals on the season. He's been caught twice. He's done everything in this series. It wouldn't surprise me if he tries to steal.
And Don bearing a setback. It may be Lackey's only rehab start that he would need before being reactivated from the DL with his right bicep strain.
That's certainly good news for John Lackey and the Red Sox. It did appear that it would be a quick rehab stint. As Jenny said, perhaps just the one. Mike Moustakas 0 for 2 in the game. He's grounded out and struck out, and time called very late.
Well, we don't know what's going to happen between now and when those players come back. But the Red Sox will have some interesting decisions to make because they've got everybody pitching well.
Down and in, Saltalamacchia to his right to grab that.
Nice job there by Saltalamacchia, sliding to his right and keeping Kane at first base. Slide it down in the dirt, able to slide over, catch the ball, and Kane has to retreat.
Trying to keep Kane close at first base, at a big secondary lead. And earlier, Moustakas was batting and back to the bag again. Dempster working here in the 6th inning with 1 out and 1 on. Up high, and it's 3-0. Next pitch will be the 90th for Dempster. No action in the pen yet. Ball 4 and he loses Moustakas. Back-to-back walks allowed by Dempster now. 3 in all. Walked just 1 through the first 5 innings and now walk back-to-back batters. Well, Advil is the official pain reliever of the Boston Red Sox and proud sponsor of Volunteers. Go to Advil.com to find out about the Advil Relief in Action campaign. And headed out is Juan Nieves here, perhaps to buy some time for somebody to get up here in the pen after back-to-back walks. Clayton Mortensen is going to be first up in the pen. Oh, the Sox and Bruins both in action this afternoon. You can watch the Sox and Royals here on NESN and follow the Bruins game against Florida on NESN Plus. To find your NESN Plus channel, visit NESN.com/NESN Plus. 1 out, 2 on here for Kansas City. Royals already on top 4-2 in game 1 of the day-night doubleheader from Fenway Park today. Jeff Francoeur has done the same thing twice. That strikeout swinging. Strike over the outside corner. Saltalamacchia jumps up bluffing as that strike 2. Francoeur didn't like that at all.
Saltalamacchia, as he came up to maybe throw to first base, stumbled a little bit. I don't think he was going to throw it anyway because that runner was not that far off.
Francoeur strikes out for the 3rd time today. Lunging after that pitch. All 3 of those pitches in the same general area.
Yeah, no secret here. I mean, once they get ahead of Francoeur, he's been going to that slider consistently, and not good swings at all by Francoeur. Reaching out, just trying to foul that ball off.
So 2 down in the inning. 1st and 2nd for Salvador Perez. Strikeout and a single today. His single knocked in a pair in the 4th inning. Game with 2 outs in the inning. As Dempster almost got out of that inning, but The big 2-run single for Salvador Perez. Jumping on the first pitch, fouling it off. Shadows making their way to the home plate area. We're at 2 outs here in the 6th inning. And Perez down 0-2. On deck, the number 9 man, Chris Getz, 0 for 2 today. Salvador Perez in his 3rd year with Kansas City. Signed as a non-drafted free agent in 2006. To center field, Jacoby Ellsbury moves back and over to make the catch that ends the inning. So Dempster works his way around 2 walks in the inning. It's 4-2 Kansas City. It's a nonprofit children's organization. Thousands of kids have had the chance to catch a Red Sox game thanks to Dunkin' Donuts. They welcome the kids in disability sports from Drake, Mass to historic Fenway Park. Dunkin' Donuts committed to the community. Bottom of the 6th inning on a sunny day from Fenway. Nothing but blue skies above. A cool afternoon here today with the breeze blowing in. And the Red Sox trailing by 2 runs as they come to bat in the bottom of the 6th inning. Dustin Pedroia, David Ortiz, and Mike Napoli to bat in the inning. Ervin Santana has retired the last 10 Red Sox in a row. In a shaky first inning, gave up 2 runs right away. And since then has settled right in. Retired 13 of the last 14 batters. 2-0 to Pedroia. In there for strike 2 and 1. On the outside corner, 2-2.
Pretty nasty right there from Santana. That fastball away from Pedroia. It's right directly to that outside corner.
Popped up left side of the infield as Escobar and Moustakas, there to make the catch for the first out of the 6th inning. Now, Urban Santana has struck out 4, and that includes Daniel Nava and Will Middlebrooks on the list of strikeouts today for Santana. He's had some good defense behind him as Stephen Drew sends this to deep center field, but Lorenzo Cain back to run it down. So a little help from his friends along the way for Santana. As the game summary is brought to you by Xfinity from Comcast. And look at the line for Santana. Escobar homering here, and 1-for-3 day. And Dempster through the first 6 innings is he has allowed so far 4 runs to the Royals. There's David Ortiz, who had an RBI single as part of the 2-run first inning for Boston. Called the ball, but pretty good pitch for Santana.
That's one of the very few changeups that Santana has thrown in this game. I mean, it might be the first one he's thrown. He's basically been fastball, slider. There's the changeup, and pretty good pitch.
This is laced, a fair ball down the right field line. Francoeur ranging over to play it. David Ortiz is headed for second. Look out of the arm at Francoeur, and it's off the mark, and into second base with a double goes Big Papi. Second hit of the day, and it's a double.
Good solid contact here by David Ortiz, and we'll watch him make his way into second base. Ortiz very gingerly going around the first base bag, has to hustle and slide because of Francoeur's arm, but picks up the double.
So David at second base with 1 down. That breaks up a string of 11 in a row retired by Urban Santana. Mike Napoli 0 for 2, had an RBI ground out back in the first inning. Fouled off to the right, out of play. In the air to right, Francoeur going back. He'll make the catch as Ortiz tags and heads for third base. Throw is cut off, and Big Papi gets to third with 2 down.
A tough time of the day on right field. Francoeur with the sunglasses on, fighting the sun, but not a problem for him on that fly ball. Ortiz tagging at second and moving his way to third base. There's nothing upstairs to help out today. Bright sunshine, as you mentioned, Don. No clouds.
Well, Jared Saltalamacchia trying to drive in a run here. The Red Sox back within a run. Line to right, slide out to deep center field, and the warning track in the 4th inning. 0 for 2 today. '90th pitch from Santana is fouled off. Did he go? They check. No, he did not, says Wally Bell.
Not even that close that time for Saltalamacchia.
This one may be a little closer. This time he did go.
I would agree.
Two and two, another block by Salvador Perez.
And Salvador Perez, one of the most active catches we have seen so far this season. Another slider, this time down on the dirt. Perez, kind of classic there for a catcher.
Saltalamacchia strikes out. The Red Sox leave David Ortiz at third base. We played 6 in game 1, 4-2 Royals. To the top half of the 7th inning, and Chris Getz leading it off as Ryan Dempster works into the 7th inning. It's showing bunt, but take strike 1 from Dempster, who's charging in off the mound.
Yeah, notice how the Red Sox infield playing the bunt too. They have obviously Middlebrooks in at third, but Pedroia in very close at second, and if he drags one to that side, it's going to be Pedroia who's going to try to make the play. Keep Napoli deep at first base. And Pedroia right now almost in double play position.
Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Covidien, delivering innovative healthcare products across the globe, is a proud sponsor of the Red Sox Foundation. On the ground, foul, and to the end of the Red Sox dugout. This will be followed by Alex Gordon and Alcides Escobar. 9-1-2. Here's Ryan Dempster. Now ball right side as Napoli will take it himself to the bag for the first out of the inning. So Getz is retired, and Alex Gordon is coming up. Gordon flied out in the first inning, walked in the third, and struck out looking in the fifth. And Dempster up over 100 pitches. Clayton Mortensen, who's up last inning, back up again this inning. Season high now for Ryan Dempster as he just threw his 102nd pitch of his outing today. Juan Nieves on the phone. And a swing and a miss for Alex Gordon.
Back-to-back splitters from Dempster. One high for a strike, and that one down and away for a strike.
Andrew Miller has joined Clayton Mortensen now in the pen. So double-barreled action here for the Red Sox with one out in the seventh. 0-2 pitch from Dempster. And dancing out of the way was Alex Gordon. Alcides Escobar waiting on deck. Alex Gordon, another first-round pick for Kansas City. They get a lot on this team. He was taken second overall in 2005. And he strikes out for the second out of the seventh inning. That's 8 Ks now for Ryan Dempster.
Now Dempster this time going back to the slider to pick up the strikeout. So a variety of pitches in that at bat. The splitter, the slider to put him away. Amica Insurance is the proud sponsor of the Amica Pitch Zone.
2 down, 4 in a row retired by Dempster. And here's Alcides Escobar. Hit a home run off Dempster back in the first inning. Popped up. And the first baseman, Napoli, will give way to Pedroia, who makes the catch that ends the inning. 4-2. Kansas City on top of the Red Sox here. 7th inning stretch from Fenway Park. And Vermont Day here at Fenway. 1996, Vermont was the only state without a Walmart. Did you know, Jerry, that they do not sell alcohol to out-of-state licenses at liquor grocery stores?
Did not know that.
Well, that's new, too. I didn't know that either. 2 presidents born in Vermont. State Capitol building is one of the only few to have a gold dome, and we saw it in person in February before heading down to spring training. Well, Henry Burke will sing God Bless America from Fenway Park.
Here to sing God Bless America. Please welcome Henry Burke.
God bless America. Land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains
Sox Game Day Live presented by DCU. NESN's pregame coverage of the Sox begins an hour before every game. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union, banking the DCU way. Now game one of a day-night doubleheader from Fenway Park extends into the bottom of the 7th inning. Boston trailing by 2, and Will Middlebrooks leading it off here in the home half of the 7th. More Irvin Santana, and why not? Santana's been very good. He gave up 2 runs in the first and nothing since then, as Red Sox compiled 3 hits since then, but had a stretch of 11 in a row retired. Ortiz broke that up with a double in the 6th, but then he promptly got Napoli to fly out and Saltalamacchia to strike out. There was something in his eye. Popped up into shallow right. Francoeur running towards the line. Makes the catch for the first out of the inning, and Middlebrooks retired. So 1 for 3 days so far for Middlebrooks after singling back in the 2nd inning. 1 down in the 7th, and Stephen Drew coming up. Good view right back into home plate from the monster seats here. And Drew put a charge into one in the 4th inning, but Lorenzo Cain went back to make a good running catch. 0 for 2 today for Drew. Hope you'll join us tonight for game 2 of the day-night doubleheader. The Major League debut for Alan Webster, we saw during spring training, and have a chance to watch him here tonight. Pitch in there for a strike, and it's 1-1.
Has to be a long day for Alan Webster. Been sitting in that Red Sox clubhouse since early this morning, waiting to make his Major League debut.
Pitch 100 is sent foul. Swing and a miss, and Drew strikes out. Going to change his mind in the middle. 2 down. It's time now for a Toyota game break. Here's Dale Arnold. All right, Dale, thanks very much. 2 down here in the 7th inning, 4 in a row. Retired by Irvin Santana. And Johnny Gomes, the battery, is 0 for 2 today. He's popped out to short, grounded out to short. Both times ably handled by Alcides Escobar. Gomes will foul it back. Action for Kansas City. Bruce Chen, former Red Sox left-hander, warming in the pen. Off the end of the bat foul. Quickly 0-2 to Johnny Gomes. On deck, the top of the Red Sox order, Jacoby Ellsbury. Santana trying to get through the 7th inning here. Gomes strikes out, and a 1-2-3 7th for Santana. Got 7 Ks on the day and a 2-run lead.
Too. And before we ask our fans at home about David Ortiz, the chemistry that he brings to this team on and off the field, and here are some of the AT&T best answers. We got Poppy is the heart and soul of the Sox, always has been and always will be. Ortiz will have an impact on the younger players on this Red Sox team and will be a positive force of energy. And Poppy is Boston. His presence alone will play a huge role. Exhibit A, that 30-second speech yesterday. Don?
All right, thanks very much, Jenny. As we welcome those who have been watching the Bruins on NESN Plus, those viewers. There's the Red Sox and Kansas City Royals playing here into the 8th inning. It is 4-2. Royals on top, and second pitcher of the day for Boston, Clayton Mortensen, comes into the game. His 5th appearance, 0-1 with a 2.35 earned run average. Opponent sitting at 214 against Mortensen. He was up in the 6th and 7th innings and now in the game in the 8th. And a tough part of the Kansas City order coming up, 3, 4, and 5. Billy Butler, Eric Hosmer, and Lorenzo Cain. Butler with a wall ball single in the 4th inning has a 1-for-3 day for Kansas City. In there for strike 1 to Butler. Mortensen last working in Cleveland against the Indians on the very brief road trip for the Red Sox. Mortensen threw 2 scoreless innings, just 1 hit in relief of Felix Dubron. It was his 3rd 2-inning outing of the year. Over the outside corner. .41 career Major League relief appearances for Clayton Mortensen, a 3.30 earned run average. Chop to third base. Middlebrooks grabs it on the backhand. The throw is in time for the first out of the 8th.
Well, obviously Mortensen's job here is to keep the score right where it is. Red Sox with 6 outs to go in this ball game to try to get it either tied or go ahead. Mortensen recording the first out on that ground ball to Middlebrooks.
One down, 6 in a row retired by Red Sox pitching. Here's Eric Hosmer. 2 hits today. Single in the first, single in the 4th, and he's fly to left. In there for strike 1. Plate now in the shadows. Beach ball has come on the field down the right field line, so Nava's headed over. Well, to support the victims and families of the Boston Marathon tragedy, CVS Pharmacy customers can make a donation to the One Fund at locations across Greater Boston through May the 4th. 1 out in the 8th. Hosmer waiting on an 0-1 pitch. Outside, 1-1. Swing at a foul tip. Amazingly, Mortensen had 6 different stints with the Red Sox last year. He was that one guy who's headed up and down to Pawtucket all last year. Hosmer may have gone. He does. Rung up by the home plate umpire. Larry bent over, and that's the first strikeout for Mortensen. 2 down.
Yeah, good job of mixing up his pitches, his fastball, slider. That's the slider down and in. Threw him a changeup previous to that. Hosmer cannot control the head of the bat.
Two outs here in the 8th, and that takes us to Lorenzo Cain. After grounding out to third base in the first inning, he's doubled and walked and driven in a run. He's had a great series offensively and defensively. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Fastball running inside at 90 miles an hour. Ryan Dempster today, 7 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, on the hook. Walked 3 and struck out 8. Grounded foul.
Oh, look out.
Tough hop.
Bad hop. Ooh. Knocked it backwards, knocked the hat off.
It appears to be okay. 2-2 to Lorenzo Cain. Foul tipped held onto by Sultan Amakia. Back-to-back Ks. A 1-2-3 inning for Mortensen. Red Sox trail by 2. To provide selection, expertise, and solution. For more info about this proud sponsor of the Boston Red Sox, visit FWF.com. And this call to the bullpen is brought to you on NESN by New England Ford Dealers. And Bruce Chen into the game. Former Red Sox lefty, pitched with the Red Sox in 2003. And pitching out of the Kansas City bullpen comes in for Irvin Santana to work the bottom of the 8th. This is where the Red Sox found their magic yesterday and hoping to do the same today. They trail by 2 runs. And the numbers for Chen, his 3rd appearance, 1-0. Has not given up a run in 4 innings. Opponent sitting at 133 against Chen. Ground ball to second base. Chris Getz has got it. 1 down in the 8th. Let's check in with Jenny.
Well, Don, Sox fans can use the Scan app on their mobile device to know where the Sox will be all season long. Scan the code on your TV screen and download the complete 2013 Red Sox schedule. NESN and NESN.com have made it easy for you to follow the Red Sox all season long.
Daniel Nava 1 for 3. A single back in the 1st inning. Line into left field. A base hit from Nava. It was his home run yesterday in the 8th. He brought the Red Sox from behind. Now he's got a base hit in this 8th inning.
Yeah, Red Sox looking for anything right now to ignite this offense. And Nava switching around to the right side of the plate. Picks up his 2nd hit of the day.
One out, one on. Dustin Pedroia coming up. Pedroia singled back in the 1st inning. Since then, he has lined out to left and popped out to 3rd.
And timeout called. Another beach ball down that right field line.
Red Sox pen is busy. Alex Wilson is up. So is Koji Uehara. Ellsbury grounds out. Nava singles. Now Pedroia waiting on a 1-0. 2-0. Bruce Chen mentioned that he pitched briefly for the Red Sox in May of '03. In 5 appearances, 2 starts for Boston. David Ortiz, the lone player from that team that is currently on the Red Sox roster. Out ahead of this. Royals bullpen is busy as well. Aaron Crow, right-hander, is up. Crow pitched in yesterday's game. A little bit high that time. David Ortiz on deck, 1 out in the 8th. Strike 3 call. Pedroia getting the bad news. Take that back with a strike 2 call. And Pedroia, he thought he had ball 4 and headed down to 1st.
Yeah, that changeup looked like it was high and out of the strike zone. We'll take a look at pitch number 5. Pedroia probably should be making his way down to first base.
Nava held on at first base by Hosmer. Pedroia with good numbers against Chen in his career, including a home run. Pedroia hits it in the air to left center field. Over goes Gordon from left. Look out as Kane steps in front of Gordon and makes the catch. They did not communicate very well. Now they do. And 2 outs in the inning.
Well, certainly the center fielder has priority over the left fielder, and you can see that Kane is clearly calling for that. Also hand a handout. And Gordon didn't look like he was too happy about it. But that was Kane's baseball if he calls for it.
So 2 down, and here is David Ortiz. Represents the tying run with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning. Ortiz takes ball 1. David with 2 hits today. A single in the first, grounded out in the third, then doubled down the right field line in the 6th inning. As an RBI today as well. Ortiz with a big swing and a miss.
Ortiz counting on a fastball on that 1-0 count. Didn't get it. Got a breaking ball. Probably not a strike, but Big Papi chasing it.
Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2.
Same pitch. This one a little bit closer to home plate.
Too far outside.
And notice location of every pitch away from David Ortiz and quite a few spinners.
Ortiz in the right center field, a base hit. Nava will stop at second base. Big Papi's got his 3rd hit of the afternoon.
Well, he kept throwing and breaking ball after breaking ball after breaking ball, and finally leaves one out over the plate, and Ortiz with the base hit. Everything away from Ortiz in that at bat except the last pitch.
Well, David Ortiz coming off a big pinch run for after he gets his 3rd hit of the day. And 5th in the last 2 days. Pedro Siriaco running at first base. The Royals are going to make a pitching change with 2 on and 2 outs in the 8th. Airlines and by Subaru of New England. The Vermont Day here today at Fenway Park, and the Red Sox trying to come from behind as they have 2 on with 2 outs in the 8th. Mike Napoli coming up to face the new Kansas City pitcher. Aaron Crow in the game for KC. His 7th appearance. He's not giving up a run, 4 2/3 innings. Opponents hitting at .235 against Crow. Won a third of an inning yesterday. Napoli takes a pitch outside. Might go for 3 today with an RBI. His ground out produced a run in the first inning. Only inning the Red Sox have scored today. They got 2 off Irvin Santana in the first and not scored since. Did he go? No, says Lance Barrett, first base umpire, and it's 2-0.
Actually, the pitch was a pretty good pitch.
Yeah.
A fastball at the bottom of the strike zone.
Could have been called a strike. Ball call, 3-0.
Well, do you give Napoli the green light here? A power hitter with a chance to give the Red Sox the lead?
I would.
I would too.
Takes ball 4. This will load the bases. Nava to third. Siriaco to second. Napoli down to first. And Jared Saltalamacchia coming up. Right now, Ace Ticket has special savings on all Red Sox games. Visit Ace Ticket for great seats at the lowest prices. Ace Ticket also has your seats for all this summer's hottest concerts. Visit Ace Ticket or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. 2 down in the 8th. Bases filled with Red Sox. Red Sox trailing by 2 runs. An 0 for 3 day for Jared Saltalamacchia. Ball 1.
Trogut squeezed on a couple of pitches from Napoli. That one not even close to Saltalamacchia.
Ball 2.
Very tight strike zone right now.
Tim Collins up in the pen. We saw him yesterday as well, the Worcester native. Dave Island headed to the mound, the pitching coach for Kansas City. Hess and Hess Express are proud sponsors of the Red Sox and the Red Sox on Nesson. During the 2013 season, Hess and Hess Express will donate $500 to the pediatric trauma program at Boston Children's Hospital for every home run hit by the Red Sox. To date, $7,500 has been donated. Hess and Hess Express committed to helping the cause. 2-0 pitch. Little number back to the mound. Crow will head to first base for the out that gets him out of the jam. The Red Sox leave him loaded in the 8th. We head to the 9th. Nesson Daily brings you everything you need to know about a full day in Boston sports tonight following our doubleheader coverage. Daily will bring you a complete reaction analysis from today's Sox game. Plus a look what happened at the Garden today between the Bruins and Panthers. All that and more tonight following the Red Sox on Nesson Daily. New pitcher is Alex Wilson, the third arm of the day used by John Farrell. His third appearance. He's not given up a run in 3 innings. 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, and opponents hitting at 125. Well, big chance there, Jerry, for the Red Sox goes by the boards.
It was a great opportunity for Boston with the bases loaded, and good job by Crow to come back in that one and record the out on Salt Lamakia. Been a battle all day for the Red Sox offense. They are out hitting Kansas City 8-6, but 2 runs on the board.
Mike Moustakas leading it off for the Royals. Will take ball 1. Moustakas has grounded out, struck out, and walked. Action for Kansas City. The right-hander is up. Greg Holland. That's in there for a strike. Strike zone that's been pretty small for Larry Vanover late in this game. It's foul to the screen. 2-2. Clayton Morrison pitched an inning of relief, a ground out and 2 strikeouts. Retired all 3 batters he faced and went through a tough part of this Kansas City order. 3, 4, and 5. Moustakas short right. Nava coming in. Out goes Pedroia, and it'll fall. Nava was playing deeply in right field. Pedroia headed out there, but it falls in between them.
Nava knew he was in trouble when he looked to Pedroia to see if he could make the play, and no chance, obviously, for Dustin to make it. There's the contact, a pop-up, a tweener. Right between now, you see Nava checking out the Pedroia, see if he can make the play. I would if Nava might have lost out a little bit in the sun. That's quite possible. Because it looked like he had a beat on it.
That breaks up a string of 8 in a row retired by Red Sox pitching. Leadoff single here for the Royals. Jeff Francoeur has had a tough day at the plate. All of it was against Ryan Dempster. He struck out 3 times against Dempster. 3 of the 8 strikeouts for Dempster.
Dempster made it look bad on sliders.
The fastball outside. It's 2-0. Salvador Perez waiting on deck. Three and 0. In there for a strike. 3-1. A single for Mike Moustakas to begin things here in the 9th for Kansas City. And a swing and a miss for Francoeur. Battling back is Wilson. Francoeur, who's already struck out 3 times today, is a full count now.
And challenging him with the fastball inside. For the most part, they have stayed away from Francoeur in this ball game today.
Reaches out and lines it into right field for a base hit. Moustakas will take second. The first 2 Kansas City Royals have reached here in the 9th inning.
Well, that's some good hitting there by Francoeur. They go back away again, and this time he covers the plate and takes that line drive past Pedroia. I mean, that ball down and away, that's almost like the sliders that Dempster was throwing him, except it was a fastball this time, and he's able to make the contact.
2 on, nobody out, and Salvador Perez coming up. Now Salvador Perez struck out in the second inning, single to drive in a pair in the fourth, a 2-out, 2-run single. Then fly to center in the 6th inning. Strike 1. Alex Wilson working in Cleveland as the Red Sox able to sweep that series. He pitched the final 2 innings in a Red Sox 7-2 win. It's on the 16th of April. Called up from Pawtucket on April 10th. Ground ball to third base. Middlebrooks will touch third. Go to second base. This could be a 3. It is not going to work. Almost a triple play. Stretching it out was Mike Napoli at first base. They almost turned it.
The only reason they did not turn that triple play is because Francoeur really got on top of Pedroia at second base. There's the tag of third by Middlebrooks. Now watch Francoeur have to get the Pedroia off his feet. And when you come off your feet like that, it's awful hard to get much on the throw. Red Sox almost complete the triple play.
Reminds you of the 2 that Gary Gaetti started here at the Minnesota Twins. Same type area, right down the third base line.
You're exactly right. I believe Al Newman was the second baseman in that case.
The 1 pitch is in the air to shallow left. Gomes coming in. He'll make the catch. It will end the inning. The Red Sox head to the 9th and need a 2 to tie. With Nesson after the game for WB Mason Extra Innings Live. Tom Caron will anchor Nesson's breakdown of game highlights, interviews, and John Farrell's post-game press conference. WB Mason Extra Innings Live. You can't go wrong when you buy right. WB Mason.
Now here's what Dustin Pedroia had to deal with on attempting to make that a triple play for the Red Sox. He's got Francoeur with nobody holding him on, so he gets a big lead. He's right on top of Pedroia, has to leave his feet, and there's the throw, and Dustin, they wanted that triple play bad.
Well, new pitcher now for Kansas City, their fourth of the day. Greg Holland into his sixth game of the year, 0-1 with a 9.00 earned run average. 3 out of 4 in save opportunities for him. He gets some work here. And trying to finish this game off for Kansas City. Deals with a pitch outside. Will Middlebrooks leading it off here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Middlebrooks, Drew, and Gomes are scheduled to bat. Two and 0. There's a strike, 2-1. Last worked on Wednesday at Atlanta. 3 straight strikeouts in the 9th to preserve a 1-0 win for Kansas City. Swing and a miss. 2-2. 95 from the Royals closer. Middlebrooks strikes out. He elevated at 95. 1 down in the 9th.
Now back to the fastball from Holland, and a good one at 95, as Don mentioned. This one rising in the strike zone. Up about Glenna High.
No runs have been hit in this game by the Red Sox, keeping their current total at 15, with Hess and Hess Express donating $500 to the pediatric trauma program at Boston Children's Hospital. For every Red Sox home run, the 2013 total stands at $7,500. Our thanks to Hess and Hess Express, committed to helping the cause. Strike into Stephen Drew.
Those shadows right now about halfway between the pitcher's mound and home plate. From sunlight to shade.
From light to dark. Got anything else?
No.
Need
some runs.
Swing and a miss, and Drew strikes out. Back-to-back Ks for Holland.
After a couple of fastballs, he either cut fastball or slider that time to Drew. Third time today that Drew has struck out.
There's Johnny Gomes, who's 0 for 3 today. Popped out in the 2nd, grounded out in the 5th, struck out in the 7th. Red Sox in jeopardy of having their 7-game winning streak come to an end here in Game 1. As Gomes looks at ball 1. Two and 0. Ruben Santana, the pitcher of record for Kansas City today, 7 innings, allowing 2 runs. They came in the 1st, and then he really settled in. One stretch he had retired 11 batters in a row, 13 out of 14. Gomes hits one high and deep to left center field. But Kane has plenty of room. The center fielder will make the catch, and the Kansas City Royals take Game 2 of the series and Game 1 of the day-night doubleheader. 4-2 the final, and a tough loss today for the Red Sox. Tom Caron.